So hello once again and welcome to this video. This is the part 2 of questions and answers in Excel. And like I had made it known to you before, these are questions that likely you might meet in an Excel test for a job interview. Apart from that, it's a good way for you to learn Excel functions using it in likely questions or things that you might meet while you work in your workplace, so you will know how to use Excel functions to take care of that. So today we have another 10. In the previous one we had 10 questions, and you can always access it if you go to the playlist in my channel, or I will just place the link below so that you'll be able to click on that and also watch that. 10 questions we treated on that, 10 questions we're treating on this. So for now, let's just dive in and then answer these questions. So the first question here, it says below is a price change history table, that's this table, and the current price table, that's this table. In the cells with fill color yellow, that's the cells, enter a formula that returns the current price from the price change history table. So we have different products here. For example, you have product 1 and all of that here. Product 101, product 102, product 104. So, and we see that they occur at different times. They occur at different times. So what we're trying to do is to find out which is the last update to the price. And let's just put them according to the dates in which they occur. So what is happening here is that we had this occurrence in January, we had this in February, we had some January here, and just like that. So what I'm going to do is to, and that's not part of answering the question. What we want to do is just the change date. Let's just make it from oldest to newest. Okay, so it comes exactly this way. So what they want us to do is that if we're looking at product 101, then we should be able to return the last occurrence, return this last price that is here. So that's what we are expected to do. So for those of you who have Office 365, the option you want to use is the XLOOKUP. The XLOOKUP function should be able to help us in doing this. So what's the lookup value? We will take the product ID here, and the next we'll look is the lookup array. What's the lookup array? So we are actually looking up all of this. That's what we're looking up. And comma, and we are looking for the return array is going to be this. So our return array is going to be this. And so we'll put comma, and if not found, well, we could just put anything. So I'm just going to put, let it be an empty cell there, comma. And what is the match? We want an exact match. So an exact match is 0. And then we're looking for what's the search mode. So this is what really helps us to answer this question. Searches from first to last, searches from last to first, and just like that. So we're going to use the search from last to first. And to do that, we just need a -1 there. And then we hit our enter button. And with this, I can copy down and check to make sure that what we've done is right. So for product 1, we have product 1 here, 45 and 46.5. So it returns 46.5. So product 2, we have it 2, 105 and 115 here. So we have 115 there. That answers the question. And we also have this one here. That's product 3, 376 and 81. So we have 81 here, which solves our problem. I think the last one for 4, that's the only one. And so we have it. So this answers our question. But a little twist to this, like you saw recently. What if I had sort the dates or sort this table? Let's go in here. So this is change it. What if I change this to this newest to oldest? So you see, it changes everything, and that's certainly not what we want. So the question is, how do we do it so that what we get here, irrespective of the sorting that takes place in this table, it gives us the right thing. So that's going to lead us to do something a little more advanced, but I want to show you how that works here. So I'm going to show you a breakdown of what I want to do before I put it inside the cell. So the first thing I'm going to do is a filter. I'm going to bring in a filter, and I'm going to take all of this as my array. And then what I'll do for the include, I'm just going to come here and take just any of them. For example, I'll take that of the price, and I would say that it should not be equal to 0. So the price should not be equal to 0. I could do that for any of the columns just to select all, but let's just provide something for the include input. So once we hit this, we're going to get this same full table that we have here. But we'll need to do one or two things about it. For example, because I have got it out as a filter function, I could actually sort it. And so I could actually sort it. And this is what I do. So this is the array. So we've provided the array. So which is going to be the sort array? That is, sort index this time around. So it's going to be the second one here. And so all that I just need to do is I'm going to say 2 in here. So I'm going to just set 2 in there. And then the next one will say, is it going to be ascending or descending? You get it? Is it going to be ascending or descending? So if it is ascending, it is going from the smaller number to the highest number, and which is what we exactly want. So I'm going to just take 1 here and hit the enter button. So if I format this, you're going to find out that that's exactly what it is doing. So I'm just going to come here, take, I want date, date, and let's just use one of these date that helps us to see exactly what we want to do. This one. So you can see it has sorted it, all the Januaries before the Februaries and all of that. Now I'm interested in using this table now. I know it's a replica of this table, but this is it. So you can see that even if I come here, you know, go to what's it called, sort custom, and here let's change this to oldest to newest. So it changes here, it changes everything here, but this does not change. It remains what it is. You get it? It remains what it is. All right. So what we're going to do, sorry, this was wrong. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is that since I've got this as a table, I'm going to just copy this because I'm going to constantly be using it. I'm not going to use the equal to sign now. So I'm going to come in right in here, and I'm going to just use my X lookup to work. X lookup. And I'm going to focus on what I want. For example, lookup value is here, comma, and then what is the lookup array? So the lookup array is just a column. It ought to be this first column here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the choose calls. There's a function called the choose calls, and I'm going to feed it with this table that we've done here. This table, I'm going to feed it in, and that's the array, and it's going to ask me which number of columns do you want to pull out. I just want to pull out the first column out of it, and that satisfies that. The next thing is so if we have a comma here, the next thing will be the lookup array. The lookup array is the third one here. So I'm going to use a choose. Let me just select it from here again, another choose call, which is choose column. So which column are we choosing now? We're choosing the third column in this. So that's the third column here. So that satisfies that condition. And then the next thing I want to do, what if it's not found? I'm just going to do, it just give me an empty cell. I want an exact match. And I also want it to look from bottom, I want it to look from, so that's a minus. And so we're going to just end this one. Think like this. Yes, enter. So that is it. So by the time I do it this way, you'll see that it gives you exactly what the second one would have been. So this is on the last one, rather. The last one would have been. So this is 4, and that's what we have there, 469. Now let's check 101. 101, we had it here. We had 101 here, and we also have it. Here. And so it's giving us this one. So if I should go and do another sort like this, it will not affect all of this. It will give us exactly this. Now, your thought might be that, oh, this looks really, really complex. I told you initially that it's a little advanced because you're using more than one function in here. But hope maybe if you see it this way, because I just want to just come here, press my Alt key and hit my enter button. That's the way we can break our functions into lines. So I'm going to just do same here. And so you can now see that the lookup value, we're actually taking up what the lookup value is. Then all of this is feeding us the first column. It's telling us that in this whole table, give me the first column. And then this is going to be the second column. That is the table where we'll be returning the returning array. It gives us that. All other things takes care of what the XLOOKUP needs in order to function well. So this way, it doesn't look that complex. It doesn't look that complex again. And that's how we got what we have here. Now, I want you to know that right now, we don't need this again. We don't need this particular one again. And for those of you who might just want to see how the choose calls works, let me just do this. Choose call. So this is it. So like we mentioned, we put in this, and this whole function was what produced this. You see, so it's I'm using it as a virtual table here. You get it? I'm using it as a virtual table. So now if I want column 1, I'm just going to insert column 1 and hit. So you can see that inside the formula, what this is doing is returning this for me. Now for that which is 3, let's go back, change this to 3. So it returns the return array for me. It returns the return array for me. You get it? Initially, we had sorted the table by this date. And so it just helps us to do that and keeps it fixed. So that's exactly what that does. And I think by now you understand how we come about the solution for question 1. Let's go to question 2. Yeah, question 2 is not as advanced as that. So let's see how we solve this one. It says, in each cell filled with yellow color, enter a formula that returns the title, first name and last name in the same cell. So there are many ways you can solve this. One of the very common Excel functions you can use for this is the concat. So you had its old form was concatenate. I think you can still use it, but it has been reduced to concat, which still works. You get it. And I think if you have Excel 2016 and above, this should work. 2016 or 2019, whatever. But you just want to check which which works. So for this, we just need to enter what are the texts we want to bring in. So we can bring in this comma, and we need bring in this comma, and bring in this comma, and this comma. I deliberately want to do something so I can show you how it comes out. So now if you look at it, it comes out, but we need spaces in between. So how do we make those spaces come in between? We just need to create them. So we just need to create a quotation, space, and a quotation mark, and a comma in there. So we do same here, quotation, asterisk, and quotation, and we just do the comma there. So by the time we do it like this, I think I've missed something there. So comma, comma. Okay, I don't need an asterisk. It's just a space rather. So that's what gives us this. So we can fill it like this, and that should answer our question. So, but Excel has come out with some other interesting functions, like the equal to text join. So we have the text join here, and the text join says, so like I was doing initially, what should be the delimiter? I'm going to just do it in one place, just one place. That's for that. And then the next thing is ignore empty cells. So what if there is a cell that is not having something here? Should we ignore it or leave it? So true is 1. I'm going to just put 1. False is 0. So I'm going to use 1 there, meaning that you can ignore it. Let's be, so the first one, ignore empty cells, which is true. So I'm right there. And then the next one is which text are we going to do? I'm just going to select all through all of this and then hit my enter button. So you can see that it gives me just this. But quickly, you just notice that the Mr., the Miss, and all of that are coming at the end of the names. What if we want it to come at the beginning of the name? So what we can do in that way is to take this first cell here, and we'll put a comma, and then the order would only stop at B. So this is going to stop at B now, okay? And so we hit our enter button, and so this is what we have. And so that solves this for question number 2, okay? Now let's go to question number 3. So here it is, question number 3. Now in question number 3, we have 2 in 1. It's 2 questions in here. The first question is saying that in the sales details table, enter a formula that returns the date of the last day of the corresponding month. So this is the month. What is the last day of the month? You get it? I think we've done something like this in our part 1. So this helps us to reiterate it. Not exactly this, but something close to this. So why I brought this question is to show you especially that you can get the last day of the month if you have just any day of that month, of that corresponding month, by using the EO month function, reference the date, that you have, and just for the number of months, just put a 0. So we put a 0 in the number of months, hit it. So you can see that even if this is 6th of January, we have 31st of January showing here. So I could just click so that this copies down all of them, and it's going to give me the last day of the month. Now, one good reason for doing this is because you may want to summarize your data according to these months or something like that. So you see that we already have this end of months here, and then we can summarize what the total sales up till the concluding day of that month is. Okay, so here we are on that. So I'm going to just come here, and we can say we want to use another function now. This time around, we're summing this sales stuff. So I'm going to use the sum ifs. The sum ifs come handy here. What is the sum range? I'm going to sum all of this. That's my sum range. I'm going to lock it, so that if I copy just anywhere, we could be referencing the same range. So that's a comma. And then the criteria range is going to be this, this dates, last day of the month that we generated. I'm going to log that one too, and then comma. And this is going to ask me what is the criteria. So if I look through all of these dates, what is the date that you want to filter out and then have everything here? So I'm going to say this is the date. I don't need to lock that because copying it's not going to give me any issues. And so this is what we have. Now, how do we know that what we have is correct? I'm just going to sum all of this raw data here, and that's what we get. And then we're just going to test it with what we got from here. Let's see if it's giving us the same thing. So it gives us the same thing, meaning that we've been able to summarize our table and then get this summary here. Okay, so remember the sum if function helps us to do just this. Now let's go to question 4. Okay, so it says in the summary table, use the formula to return the count of occurrence of each item requested in the request table. So this is the request table, and they've got these are items that has been requested. These are items. Now they want you to say, okay, which one is drink, which one is lunch, how many lunch, how many all of this one do we have inside all of this. Okay, and they want you to use a formula to return it. So the formula you can use is the it's just like the one we used previously, which is the sum ifs, but this time we're going to do a count. So it's going to be count ifs. We're going to use a count if. So it says, where do I have the criteria range? Just select all of this, you get it, and lock it so that irrespective of your copying, you're going to be on the same range. Okay, so that's a comma. And then what is the criteria? Now, where the putting in this criteria is where the work of this particular question is, because if they were all just one entry in each of these cells, we would have just gone straight to select this range, but it's not that way. So what do we now do? So what we need to do is to use a wildcat search. We need to do a wildcat search. And so to do that, what we just need to do is, I'm going to put a quotation, I'm going to put an asterisk here, another quotation, and then an ampersand. Now I'm putting an ampersand and I'm going to click the cell. So what I'm trying to say, the ampersand is going to concat. It's going to bring these two things and it will look as if it is just the text used for the criteria there. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to do the same thing after I have selected this cell. And I will tell you why I do that. So I'm going to have another ampersand, and I'm going to just put a quotation mark. I'm going to put an asterisk, and I'm going to use this one also for it. So why am I doing it like this? I know drink could be anywhere in the value of this, in each of these cells. So I'm saying that irrespective of where it would be, either at the beginning, the end, the middle, or whatsoever, I want you to track it. And there might be other things amidst it, but as long as it's inside, amidst other tests, please count that for me. So that's exactly what I do here, and I'm going to just enter this, and and this, I get 25 here. Okay, now what am I trying to get at here? How is it, are we sure that we have 25 here? Let's try to use our simple I to check for drinks. So I have a drink here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, and 6 here. So that looks correct. And for lunch, I have 1, 2, no lunch here, 3, 4, and 5. So that gives that to us. So it would definitely give us that, and that's just the way in which you can get it. So you might have data that is arranged in this format. For example, if you have a table that has to do with movies, a particular movie can have different classifications. So you can be able to count the total number of movies that have a particular classification just simply using what we have done here to calculate. Okay, now let's go to question number 5. So question number 5 says, from table A, that's table A, extract the top 5 numbers into table B. Arrange in descending order. That's from descending from the highest to the lowest, and so on like that. Now, this is also very simple, but sometimes you may not know that this function really exists. So here it is. We're going to use a function called large. So large takes an array, and this is the array. I'm going to lock it. Always lock that, and comma. And I need to tell it that what exactly it does is, if you give me an array, tell me using an index the largest number you want. So I can tell it that I need the first largest number. So the first largest number will give me this. Now I don't want to be doing this. I want this to flow with this. So I have a helper column here, which is the first here, and I'm just going to do that and copy down. That answers the question. So this is the first largest, this is the second largest, third largest, fourth largest, fifth largest. And so they make us with the top 5 of these numbers. Now it has an opposite, which is small. So we would have been asking for this. Always lock that first input. And I want to just connect with this one. And so this is the first smallest, and down to, so this is the first smallest, this is the second smallest, third smallest, fourth smallest, and fifth smallest. So it brings all of them out in this way, and then we can get, but this is just bottom. So let's just put this here and look at it and call it bottom. So that will now be the bottom 5. So you can use either the large or the small to achieve all of this, depending on the data that you're working on. Let's look at question number 6. So it says, assume that there are 4 sheets with data laid out in similar structure. In cell A5, that's this cell, enter a formula that pulls all data from the 4 sheets into one table. So here we need to do this. Now the function that helps us to do that is, because we want to arrange them vertically, we have the VStack. The VStack function helps us to do that. All we need to do is go to each of those sheets, but this time they are in just this page, but it's the same thing we need to do. Each of these sheets here, we just go in and we pick this ring like that. So I'm going to just pick this, comma, pick this, comma, pick this, comma, and pick this. Once I'm done with that and I hit my enter button, I get all of them. So you have got branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, branch 4. All of them comes in like this. So I could use this table to do a lot of things, even if they come from different sheets. So in this way, we can, as if it were, merge all sheets together and work to them. Maybe some like a summary sheet, whatever, you can use it to do exactly like that. What I've done here is the same thing that you would do if each of these, if each of these were in a separate sheet, if they were in a separate sheet. Okay. All right. So that answers this question. All right. So let's go to question number 7. In question number 7, it says, in the cell D13, where's that? Okay. It says, enter a formula that will return the total value of filtered rows. Now, this is what this is trying to say is this. come on. If I should do this, like this, sum, and hit my enter button, is it working? Yeah. So it gives me the total. So if you see you sum all of this, you actually get the total. You're going to get the total here, the same thing. But what they're telling us is filtered rows. What it means is that if I should choose just fruit drinks now, choose fruit drink, I lost it to total. I'm not seeing what the total of this is. So we want to do it in such a way that we can see the total when we filter cells. All right. So to do that, we need another function called a subtotal. We need another function called the subtotal function. Now, when you fire up the subtotal function with an open bracket, you're going to see all of this. So these are actually numbers. So I wanted to see, can I move this? Yes. So you see, we need a function number here. We need a function number. So you can see these are function numbers: 1 for average, 2 for count, and just like that, and 9 for sum. So I'm going to use 9 because what I want to do is the sum, and put a comma, and then what am I referencing? What numbers am I referencing? I'm going to just select all of these numbers, and that will be all. So I'm going to just hit. I still get my 140 here, but this time around, if I should filter for fruit drinks, you can see that I get the total of fruit drinks. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 4 gives us 20. So it gives us like that. So the subtotal function is very handy in getting sums, averages, max, mean on the fly from a table. So that is exactly what you're seeing here. So now let's go to question 8 and try to solve for that. So in question 8, it's saying use an Excel function to make the following conversions in the cells with yellow fill color. So in these cells with yellow fill color, they want us to change, if we have 1 meter, let's change it to foot or feet. You get it? If we have 1 kilometer, let's change it to gram. If we have a day, 1.5 day, what will it be in hours? And if we have 1,500 watts, what would it be in horsepower? Now, Excel has got this function called convert. Convert. It's an engineering function. So convert. So it wants me to take a number. And once it fires up, it's asking me, what do I want to convert it to? So actually, I want to take it from meters. So I'm going to put quotation mark and M for meter. And I'm going to just close it. And so what is the unit I'm taking it to? So the unit I'm taking it to is to foot. So foot, I'm going to just take it. It's going to be, I think it's FT. That's it here. So it's going to be foot. And that will be all. I'm going to just click, and then it tells me that 1 meter is equivalent to 3.281 foot or feet. You get it? So that is what it is. So now I can't copy this down because I need to just have the same formula for each of this. I need to have a different formula for this. So I'm going to come here, convert this one. Is going to convert from where? Kilograms. So I'm just going to kg, and this somehow I didn't find the kg in the list. I tried to check, but what I did was just go straight from kg to g to gram. That's it. So, and it actually gave me the answer correctly from a mathematical point of view. 1,000 kilograms. Sorry, 1 kilograms will give you 1,000 grams. Okay. So day to hour. And so it does that to convert this. And how do I want it to do that? It actually does it, but you just use the small letters day and comma and then hour. Now for the hour, you can see, so you see what the day is. The hour is this. So that's it. So that gives me 36 hours. That's 24 hours plus another 12 hours gives us 36 hours. So what this means is that in your models, you could use the convert function to do to convert from one thing to from tons to kilograms and all of those things. Those that could work. So this is what. So just take this and comma. Horsepower is HP and horsepower is HP, and we'll just click on this and hit. So it gives us that. So that is what that one is. So the convert function actually helps us to make such converts in there. 2 to go, and let's see what this is. There's question 9. Question 9 says, what is it? It says in the cell with fill color yellow, yeah, these cells, enter a formula that will count CAD type. Think that should be CAD type and some CAD amounts on CAD type in the respective table. So one is going to be a count. This is going to be a count, and this is going to be a sum based on the table here. All right, let's go and see how we do it. So this is a count, and we remember our count ifs. We're using count ifs because right now we used count ifs before, but not for multiple conditions. But now we want to do a multiple condition because we're looking for CAD types that is on us. So this is a CAD, and I'm going to just lock it, you see, and I need to tell the condition that I should look for here. So you can see that it's looking for the CAD type. I'm just going to click here. You get it? I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to lock it to the column so that if I should copy it, it should not change. So I'm going to lock it to the column, and that means putting a $sign behind G. You know, G is the column. G is the column here. All right. And then I have a second condition, and you see it's asking me for criteria 2. So criteria 2 is whether it's on us or not. So this is criteria 2, and I'm going to lock it still and comma. And what is the criteria for this criteria 2? I have it here, so I can reference it here. So I'm going to reference here. But if I copy down, I don't want it to leave this row. So I'm going to lock the role ID here. I'm locking the role ID there. And when we lock the role ID, this is what we get. So we've entered everything needed, and let's click to see what it does. So so on us does not have anything here. So we come down. So we have on us, we have one verb, we have one master, and just like that. So we can easily sum these counts here. And that's what we get there. All right. Then let's do the same thing for this other one. You get it? Let's do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy it right here. So why am I copying it right here? Because I've set this function, I've set my formulas to respect all these conditions here. So you can see that this is looking up this is looking up this, stays here, and it's looking up this, and it's doing the counts here. Now if you come here, it's doing the same thing. So it's looking at not on us, it's looking at these, and it's looking at all of this. So from just one formula, we've been able to, you know, write our formulas such that we could reuse it here, and it would give us the same answers here. So the count of all of these numbers is some 42, and when we add these two together, it gives us 42 also. So we have recognized all of them. Now, it's the same thing here, except for here, we're using a sum function. Now, it's good for you to know that you can actually take a formula and then work on it to fit it to what you want. For example, here, I'm not going to use the count ifs, but I'm going to use the sum ifs here. But when we do the sum ifs, we check it very well. It needs a sum range before the criterials. So we actually need a sum range coming first here, and this is the sum range. I'm going to just select this. I'm going to lock it up there, comma. And so we have the necessary criterials that it will use for that. And so that just sums this up, so we can just copy down and to this other side, and it's going to do exactly what we want. The only thing is that it is looking up here and they are the same thing. So if it's like this, we still get our formulas right, we still get everything right. You get it? So here it is. This is for this and this is for that. So we've been able to capture everything that is on us and not on us, all in this table that we have here. Okay, so the only thing I might do is just format this to look like amounts or values or things like that, and that solves this question number 9. So the last question is here. The last question says, in the cells filled with yellow color in the sales table, enter a formula that returns the product price from the product table. Okay, so it wants us to return if this DPK, wherever we have DPK, should bring it in. Now for this one, we could use our VLOOKUP if we so love to use the VLOOKUP function. The VLOOKUP function here, it says, what do you want me to look up is this, and then what is the table array. So almost often a lot of people get confused when they say table, because yes, this is the table we want to bring out values from. You select it and you lock it. It's always good to lock it, you know, and then you say, what is the column array? What's the column array that has what you want to bring in? So the column array that has it is this, and you start counting 1, 2, 3. So it's the third column, and I'm going to put 3 there. And what is the range lookup? Actually, I want an approximate match. True is the same thing as 1, and I'm going to just I'm looking for an approximate match, not an approximate match, but an exact match rather. Yeah, 99% of the times you'll be looking for an exact match, so you're going to have 0 there. But here I want to show you that what I've entered is going to give me nonsense. So you see, it's going to give me nonsense. It's not going to give me the answer. So the reason is that, you see, when you see the VLOOKUP function asking you for a table array, it's got requirements for that table. One of the requirements is that whatever you're looking up must be the first column in your table selection. So right now the DPK is not our first column, it's the second column here, and that's where the problem starts, and a lot of people have issues with the VLOOKUP function. So how do you solve this? Because this can come out in a test, and when it comes out in a test, you could get so like thrown off trying to find what exactly is wrong. So what is wrong is our selection, the way we select. So since what we are looking for is in this column, and everything, the array that we are returning is to the right hand side of this column, then that satisfies the requirement for VLOOKUP. So instead of me starting from column A, I should be starting from column B. So I'm going to just put B here, and so you can see that the first column in my selection has got these arrays that are here, and my return array is to the right hand side of this first column. So it could be any column, it could be the 7th column, 8th column, but it must be to the right hand side so that we can select this and then use it here. So it's no longer going to be the third column in our selection, because in our selection, our return array is the second column, first, second. So I'm going to use 2 here. So we use 2, and let's see what happens. So it gives us 25, which is correct. And I'm just going to just drag down, and PMS is 75. So it's doing the right thing, and it's giving us that, and it's giving us our total here. Now, we could still use the XLOOKUP to do this, and that's the new function that has been given to us to do exactly this. For some persons, they may want to use the index match to also accomplish this. The index match can be a little on the advanced side, and that's why we're happy Microsoft decided to bring in the XLOOKUP function. So the XLOOKUP function can still do this, the XLOOKUP, and what it does is give me the lookup value, and that's this, and it says give me the lookup array. I'm only going to select the array that has got the lookup array. So it makes it easy here, in the sense that this is what I'm looking up. This is the lookup value, this is the lookup array, and it helps to, I mean, it tells you that this is the relationship that we want. Quite different from what the VLOOKUP does, and the confusion it throws us into. I'm still going to lock this one by just pressing my F4 button, and it puts the $sign in all of them. And then I'm going to see the return array. So this is my return array. Irrespective of where it is, just go to select your return array. And I'm going to lock that one too. And comma. What if I don't find it? Well, I'm just going to tell it to just return nothing to me. What kind of match do I need? I need an exact match. So that's why we have that there's 0. And all the rest are just what it said, as a first to last, to last to first. Well, we're just looking at one table that's got just one entry for each of what we have here. So we're going to do the first to last. So the first to last is just 1. And then that's all. So it gives us the same thing, and our answers are just same. So you can use your VLOOKUP, but you should understand how to implement it. And then you can also use the XLOOKUP. If you have Office 365, then the XLOOKUP becomes a better option for you to use. So that's how we come to the end of the 10 questions in part 2 of this. In my channel, I have my contacts. If you have questions, you feel you want answers to, or you want me to show you how to do those questions, feel free to reach out to me and share those questions with me, and I can help you in finding solutions to them. So they could be questions you have thought of, they could be questions you've tried in some other test and you could not get it. I don't answer test questions that you are yet to do. That's not encouraging. I want you to be good with Excel. So I want you to learn and go to implement them in such tests. And for those of you who are watching to learn how to use functions and formulas, you could actually create questions on Excel and test these things that you are learning to see that it works. It helps your learning process. It helps to store it in your brain, knowing that this is how questions come up and this is how to answer such questions. And you can also use ChatGPT to ask them, give me some objective questions in Excel. It gives them to you, and then you just get them into your Excel and then find a way to solve them. So that's just another way you can do it. So until another video, have a nice time and bye bye.